Okay, this week we're looking at the personal a. It's not tricky, but some people seem to arrive at A-level without really having dealt with it. It is something that is just for Spanish. It's not easy to explain it grammatically. It doesn't exist in other languages as far as I'm aware, but this sentence would be wrong without it. I saw my uncle and aunt at the weekend. Vi a mis tíos el fin de semana. Vi a mis tíos el fin de semana. You need it. It's there. It's the personal a. Don't confuse it with a real a, meaning to or at. I went to the cinema. Fui al cine. Means to. It can be translated into English. It's fine. I gave my bicycle to my younger sister. Regalé mi bicicleta a mi hermana menor. Of course, English can be a bit naughty and say, I gave my sister my bicycle, but there is really, that's an indirect object, that is a real a, meaning to. It's only for people, persons, it's a personal a. I saw my uncle and aunt, vi a mis tíos. If you see something that's not a person, vi una película en el cine, there's no need for the a, because it's a personal a, and the film isn't a person. Okay, the human brain likes to ask why, a bit like the Hoobs. Because it's not a grammatical feature across other languages, we haven't got terminology for it, it's just called the personal a. I think we can explain why, but it's just a reason I've made up. But the human brain likes reasons for things, even if they are made up. I'm not going to go into any examples, because you get a lot of trouble in the internet if you question people's beliefs. Some people say this, that it's politeness. The personal a is to show respect for people. Creo a mi profesor cuando explica cosas. I need my parents, necesito a mis padres. Okay, I have no evidence for that, but it could be a deduction from the fact that it's used for people, and that's how we talk about people nicely. I think this actually is needed, and if we look at these sentences are wrong, mainly because they haven't got the personal a. But anyway, let's have a look. Juan besó su esposa, meaning Juan kissed his wife. Juan su esposa besó. Juan kissed his wife. Besó su esposa Juan. Juan kissed his wife. Su esposa besó Juan, meaning Juan kissed his wife. There's another one. You could have besó Juan su esposa. Of course, it doesn't work, because if you look at the last one, it could just say his wife kissed Juan. So we do need the personal a to show who is the subject and who is the direct object of the sentence. Juan besó a su esposa. Juan a su esposa besó. Besó a su esposa Juan. A su esposa besó Juan. They all mean Juan kissed his wife, and the direct object, his wife, in this case, needs the personal a. Personal a goes in front of the direct object. Without the a in that place, all we've done here is swap the a. A Juan besó su esposa. A Juan su esposa besó. Besó su esposa a Juan. Su esposa besó a Juan. So when you've got two people in a sentence, or even the other one, su esposa Juan besó, a Juan besó, you need to indicate who is the object of the sentence and who's the subject, because the word order is so flexible. English, the cat sat on the mat, or Juan kissed his wife. You can tell from the word order the subject, verb, object. In Spanish you can't. So it does do a useful job. Does it matter? Yeah, vi a mis tíos is correct. That one there I'm not even going to say is wrong. Vi una película, that's not a person, so that one's correct. This one is wrong. Also, a personal a and a real a, it can make a tiny difference. Look at this one. Oí a tu profesor gritando. I heard your teacher shouting. The teacher is the direct object. He was heard. So it's lo oí. This one is a real a. Entregué mis deberes a mi profesor. I handed in my homework to my teacher. Le entregué mis deberes. So that's the indirect object to him. Another area you can get yourself into on the internet, into big trouble, is questioning people's beliefs about animals. Some people think animals are people. Pasear al perro, you might have been taught for to walk the dog. That is a personal a. I'm going to quickly move on. This book does have a little bit on the personal a. It has a lot more on direct objects, indirect objects, and the personal "a" gets a look in at some point. Interesting to see in the background there my old A-level Spanish work scrawled all over by the teacher. For some reason we were translating The Plague Dogs by Richard Adams.